right? But really that's a Sphinx, right? This column is going to be an obelisk, right? So they're just manufacturing this information for themselves. Now over here, this young fella, he's a student.
Okay.
He's a Greek initiate, right? But he has the typical Egyptian pose, left foot forward, right?
Okay.
He's an initiate. He has curly hair, right? Okay. He is going to be an initiate, an educator, right? A medium between his culture and ancient, what they call ancient Egyptian or ancient African culture.
Gotcha.
Right? The context. Okay, so now, starting really in the 7th century, there was a lot of trade in the Mediterranean.
Okay.
And there was a colony in Egypt because the ancient Egyptians' kingdom was fallen and they used mercenaries, right? And they set up a colony was set up called Necrotis in Egypt. And they began selling these type of goods throughout the Mediterranean. They're painting what they thought they saw, right? So here, this vase is more of a mythological vase, right? With kind of Greek stories, because the Greek stories are being born in the 8th century, right? The 7th century, they're being dispersed. And they're being dispersed pictorially, right, throughout the Mediterranean. They do have a writing system called Linear B, but only the master scribes. But the normal people, they don't care about that. They're just looking at pictures. So here is interesting. Because this vase tells a different story. This vase is not mythological. This vase actually shows animals that are in Africa, that are not in Greece, right? So it went from this to that for the people that didn't know. So here they have much more knowledgeable, they're much more knowledgeable of Africa. But you want to see something very interesting?
The swastika.
Yeah, you see the symbol right here? The symbol is an ancient symbol, has nothing to do with the Holocaust or anything. It has something to do with rotating forces, right? That the Greeks understood from learning from the Africans, right? So, okay, so let's go to this spot. Okay, another important thing is, our children are watching these stories on the Spartans, the gladiators. Well, this is the real gladiator helmet. This is a real Greek helmet. This is the size of these men, right? You wouldn't Hercules and the rest of them, you wouldn't believe, but this is their size, right? So they're really short people, but they've mastered a type of weaponry with bronze. They became the bronze men, right? Okay. Now, they switched out the major vase, but they put out one that's very similar. In this vase right here, probably because they hear him talk too much about the vase that was here originally, right? Okay, if you look up here, you will see the Assyrian, the Osiris story, the African Osiris story where he's murdered by his brother and he is being funeralized and his sister wives, Isis and Nephthys, resurrect him. So you will see that on the bier, him laying on the bier, and you will see the story called the Book of the Dead. You will see it right here. This is not a Greek story, this is an African story, and we're at a period of 750 BC, right? And these people are not really writing yet. They're not really writing, but this is 750 BC. They have great stories, and that's what they're doing, but they're not writing. Okay, this vase, so the reason why I'm in Greek is because I'm showing you where the Greeks got their information from. They weren't writing at 750 BC. So, from that period to the 1st century, which is roughly 600-700 years, is where you have Christ being born. You have so-called Christ being born. So then there, of course, the Greeks and the Romans were engaged in a lot of writing, but initially they weren't. Over here,
Master Teacher Reggie, live in action.
over here, you can see a story of some of the people that gave them their knowledge. You can see their voyage. So if you look over here, right, you can see these thin-waist warriors with spears, right, with braids, right, with locks. You can see them right here, right?
Yep.
And these people are connecting with the Mediterranean or the Greek world. Now this word right here, this is actually a word, but for them it's art, but it really means Sarah. Sa is the duck, and it means Ra, it's the sun, and it means king of Egypt. So we know that they're talking about Egypt. Now, if you want to see the cross 500-600 years before Christianity, well, here it goes right here. It's a directional symbol, and it's in the middle of Ra. Now, some people will say, well, Reg, it's a cross. Okay, you will say that it's a cross, but then when you come over here, you see that it changed from north, south, east, west to northwest, northeast, southeast, southwest, right? It's directional. And it has everything to do with the sun.
Which is around.
Right. So, and then it's these people right here that's bringing them the information. So you see the cross, so-called, but it's not a cross now. It's a sundial, and it's turning. So they're talking about time. But they can't express it in writing. Okay. Now, there was a section.
Reading the Meta Nature with Dr. Reggie, Jack.
I think, so let's go. There's a section that I wanted to bring you to that I skipped over, but I'm going to bring you in there because I want to,
Right.
but there you go. So that's the body armor of the bronze men, right? So this is great for our children. Our children, just having a day the children let young people, how can I say, imagine, vision. Excuse me, African vision time. African vision time? Okay, it's going to be.
Yeah, by the main entrance where the big stairs are.
No, it's not there.
You sure about that?
Yeah, okay, it's not there. African vision time is not by the big stairs.
Byzantine is there.
Right, but it's a whole exhibit for African vision time. Did it close?
Yeah, I'm new here, so this is
Okay.
my first week. So I'm
Thank
not
you
quite
so
sure.
much.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's try.
He don't know where yet. That's why we got Reg, the master teacher. He work here and don't even know where stuff at. Cold. Now, which teacher you want to listen to? Dr. Reggie or that other dude? Professor Scholar Reggie?
All right.
Welcome to Dr. Reggie world.
It's a side exhibit off the beaten path.
Okay.
So I haven't been here in about, into this exhibit in a month or so. They may have closed it, and that's the problem. They may have closed the exhibit, and that's why I'm not seeing it, but let's see. Because what they do in these museums is that they borrow artifacts from other museums on loan. So I think they closed it to put on the check.
So, from Egypt, I gave y'all some views, and now I'm in America, where some history's been brought or stolen, or as they'll try to say, donated.
Okay. So yeah,